Hey there, how there, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to yet another Cutter Top 10 sports video. And today we're going to look at the let's live, pal. The Cutter Top 10 NFL players to wear the double threes. That's right. 33 is kind of my lucky number and all that. I could have done the number 12 and all that, but that would be hard because, how are you going to tell? Well, Brady, Bradshaw, Staubach, how are you going to separate those guys? Well, anyway, we're gonna do the double threes, as in 10 guys who were number 33 with precision. First off, number 10 is Merrill Hodge. You know him from NFL Countdown in the 2000s and 2010s. But yeah, Merrill Hodge was a decent player for the Pittsburgh Steelers, number 33 in your program. A pretty good player for technical Super Bowl, but, you know, he was okay and he wasn't that bad. Number 9 is Bill Dudley, who actually is in the Hall of Fame. A lot of people would be like, who the heck is Bill Dudley? Well, you got to remember, he played in the 1940s, so obviously a lot of people will not know who that frick he is. So, anyway, Bill Dudley played for Pittsburgh, Detroit, and Washington. He's in the Hall of Fame. He was an NFL MVP in 1946, and he was pretty much a good running back. Unfortunately, though, a lot of people don't really know much about him unless you know him for NFL MVP trivia. Number 8 is Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook played for the Vikings and the Jets, and he was just a normal person, if you will, in the running back department. But Dalvin Cook did what he could in running, and the guy from FAU, if I remember correctly, Florida Atlantic, or probably not. I think Florida State. Sorry, Florida State. What am I thinking? But yeah, Dalvin Cook played well for the Vikings as number 33, and then he went to the Jets. He didn't do much after that, but whatever. Number 7 is Kevin Falk. Kevin Falk was a running back slash wide receiver, if you will, for the St. Louis Rams. Kind of the guy after Marshall Falk left. Kevin Falk did his job. And he also was part of the Indianapolis Colts, if memory serves me right. No, I think that was Marshall Falk's cousin, is Kevin Falk. But yeah, Kevin Falk played for the Colts, and he also played for, I keep thinking he played for the Rams, but probably didn't. Yeah, Kevin Falk was a good player and all that. He was kind of the slash guy for the Colts for Peyton. But it is what it is. So Kevin Falk was a good guy who could run and catch, and then he was a good returner too. Number 6 is Ricky Williams. I know a lot of people will be saying, who the hell do you think you are? Ricky Williams is an icon. Well, he loses points because he wasn't recognized for being number 33. He was number 34, but he wore 33 for his third and final team, the Baltimore Ravens. Ricky Williams being in the league was huge enough. I mean, guy from Texas who broke the running record from one other guy on this list. But anyway, Ricky Williams did his job. New Orleans traded away their entire draft to Washington to prevent Washington from drafting him. I mean, Philly could have easily drafted him, but they drafted Donovan McNabb, and then a few other teams didn't want to draft. So New Orleans were impatient at number 5. They needed to find a good running back. I mean, George Rogers was the best New Orleans running back of all time at the time. So Ricky Williams ends up going to the Saints and all that draft. Washington picked up a few players. I think, who was it? Was it not once? There was a big tackle and also that other guy from Penn State, not Keyshawn Carter. I had his name on the tip of my tongue. Oh, LeVar Arrington. So Washington got lucky with those picks. But yeah, Ricky Williams was a dominant NFL running back when he was not using the ganja or drugs and all that. He basically was good for the Saints, and then he ended up headed to Miami. And then after almost receiving a third strike from the NFL because of drug testing, he decided to flee up north to Canada to join the Toronto Argonauts. After a few seasons with the Argos, he went back to Miami as if nothing had happened. Miami welcomed him back, and then Baltimore had him at number 33. Number 5 is Charles Peanut Tillman of the Chicago Bears. Now, he actually does hold a record. He holds the record officially for the most forced fumbles in the modern era. Tillman was a good defensive back for the Bears and a few other teams, including Carolina, remember it. But yeah, Peanut was known for what they called the peanut punch, in which if the ball was loose and all that with the receiver, he would just punch it out, which is legal, and force the fumble. If he didn't recover the fumbles, 9 times out of 10, but he forced the fumbles. That's just as good. So Peanut did his job, and Charles Tillman did quite well. So he's a good guy. Number 4 is Ole Matson, Hall of Famer from the 1940s and 50s, of course, breaking the color barrier. One of those who broke the color barrier. He played for the Chicago Cardinals. You know, the Cardinals when they were in Chicago before they moved to St. Louis. And yes, there was a St. Louis baseball team called the Cardinals and a football team called the Cardinals at the same time. Then he went to the LA Rams, the Detroit Lions, and the Philadelphia Eagles. But yeah, he's most known for the Cardinals. I think the Rams traded 10 players for him or something like that, if memory serves me right. But yeah, he was a Hall of Fame running back, an Olympic medalist in the 100 meters, if I remember correctly, or was it the hurdles? But yeah, Ole Matson was a pretty good player. And logically, you know, he knew how to play the game. So, you know, and he broke the other barrier, if you will. Number 3 is Roger Craig, playing for the Niners, Raiders, and Vikings. I forgot he played for the Raiders. I kind of knew he played for the Vikings. I remember that somehow. But yeah, he was in the video game, wasn't it? Second Super Bowl with the Vikings? Well, anyway, yeah. Roger Craig was versatile. He could run and he could catch passes. He was basically the Marshall Faulk before Marshall Faulk came prominent. Yeah, Roger Craig was good number 33 for the Niners and all that. He was what Ricky Watters would soon become, but in the West Coast offense. But unfortunately, Roger Craig, yeah, he went to the Hall of Fame. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame this year in 2026 with Peanut Tillman. But yeah, Roger Craig finally getting in the Hall of Fame, despite the fact that his biggest fumble was 91 NFC title game that gave the Giants the chance to kick the winning field goal, which they did to knock out the 2-time defending champions. Number 2 is slinging Sammy Ball of the Washington Redskins. Yes, I'm saying the Redskins, but anyway, Sammy Ball was a great player for Texas Christian in the college game in the 1930s. Washington needed him. He became a quarterback / defensive back / punter / punt returner. He was one of the NFL's earlier stars in the 1930s. Of course, in the 1930s, you were expected to play both offense and defense. So Sammy Ball could play defensive back. He had 11 interceptions in 1 year at one time, and he was a legendary quarterback too for Washington. You know, bringing the forward passing to repute and all that. He did his job, and he was pretty good. One of the NFL's early stars, as I said, and yeah, he was tough as nails. You know, all those commentaries in 1994 when he was still when he was getting interviews and F-bombs and all that, and it was funny. And number 1 is Tony Dorsett of Dallas and Denver. People forget that Tony Dorsett played 1 year with the Denver Broncos. I almost forgot, but then it just came to me. But yeah, Hall of Fame running back, known for speed, vision, and he was a great running back for the University of Pitt. Won the national championship in 1976. Dorsett was replaced by Ricky Williams as top running back in running yards. So anyway, Tony Dorsett was a pretty good player in his own right. And, you know, he had that 99.5-yard run in Minnesota on Monday Night Football in 1983, the first year of the Metrodome existed for the Vikings. But yeah, Tony Dorsett was a good running back. He did have a lot of rushing yards. I keep thinking he was the guy with the most rushing yards, but no, that was Walter Payton, Jeff. Thank you. Tony Dorsett's a great guy. And, you know, he was a good player both for the NFL and NCAA, so you can't hate on that. You really can't hate on that. So, yeah, there's your top 10 NFL players to wear double threes. I know it's a short list this time, but I just can't bring too much narrative. Anyhow, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.